Hello, Tubeubers. It's Cindy Ellen from Paper Crafts by Cindy Ellen. It's good to see you again. So my lovely sister Linda is filming yet again.
Hi.
Yay! So today's kind of an interesting video because I'm going to talk about how to use pattern paper. A friend of mine who I really love and respect, and she is one of the most amazing colorists I know, and she's an amazing card maker and an amazing member of our community, said, oh, I don't know how to use pattern paper, so I just don't. And I was like dumbfounded. And so I thought I would share my tips and tricks on using pattern paper. So this is kind of how I learned this. Every month I get a kit from Scrapping for Less. It's a mystery kit. It's $8.50. It is incredibly worth it. So what you get is you get a little stamp kit. As you can see, this month was a stamp kit with this cutest little sloth in there, and you get some ephemera. This month we also got a die, a little leaf die. So last month, which is how long I've been thinking about this video, we got fairies. Look at this. This was adorable. We got fairies, and we got this ephemera. And we
Fairy
got,
flowers.
These leaves, flowers, sorry. And we got some shakers, which I'm going to show you in a minute. We got some beads and things, which I'm going to show you. And we got 6 pieces of paper. You always get 6 pieces of paper. And one of the things when I open the kit is I try to use up as much of the paper as possible. And what doesn't end up going in the paper pad, if it's a strip like this, ends up in my strip bucket, and then I make backgrounds out of it, lying down strips of paper or whatever it does, because I'm a cheap Yankee and I don't like to waste things. But, so what I want to show you is how and these were so adorable. These were so adorable that I literally sat down and colored 6 of each of them. And I made some of them into graduation cards, and some of them are going to be cards that I'm going to show you. So let me show you what I did. So the first thing that I do is I usually cut, you back up a little bit for me, Lynn. I usually cut frames. So, for instance, this is what I did. I cut frames out. These are the finished cards. So I cut frames that I knew I was going to use. So I pick out the ones that I know I'm going to use as frames. Okay, so this was the first one. By the way, these are the other patterns with a few extra little beads and baubles in there, but that was the other sequins that came with it. So there you go. And you can tell there's the wishing you a very wonderful day. And I colored her with my Arteza markers and a little unicorn. Stickles, my favorite. It sits right here on my desk. Yes, it does. And I use this. I use door knockers, pieces of door knockers, because I like to fill them right up so you can shake them. But this is good because then you have the inside piece, always a good thing. Same idea here. You fill it up so you have, you can fill up and you have the inside piece. And I'm going to show you how to use those too. So this is a rabbit hole design. One of their caffeinated critters. He's one of my favorites. We're going to need a bigger cup. Bite me. Yeah. This is their spider. He flops in there, which I truly love. And if I had been feeling better, I would have made a back to him, but I didn't. So, this itsy bitsy spider needs caffeine now. Damn it. Yeah. That's my own sentiment. So there we go. And then you're left with pieces. You're left with all the pieces. I will probably cut this one, or I might use this one. This is the other background. It had stripes too. So it comes with different sizes. And then you have the pieces. And then you get to decide what you're going to do with the pieces. Okay? So here are some ideas. So this is another Rabbit Hole Designs. That's the caffeinated rabbit bunny, and on the inside it says Hairly Awake. So there he is. Okay, here's some more fairies. So this is one of the things that you can do. You can lay your strips down on a coordinated background. Okay, this one is for a friend's daughter. She's graduating from high school, so I'm not going to show you the inside, but on the inside it basically says fairies come in all different colors, which I think is kind of important for now. Okay, now, you remember we have the circle, right? Well, here's the circle die. Okay, the paper is double-sided. So that's the inside circle. I took the rest of the dies from this set, which I think is a Spellbinders set, by the way, and continued to cut until I had all of those. Now, you can leave it plain. You can put something else in there. You could put a fairy in there. I also have a whole bunch of other images that came this week. I have the Happy Hummingbird set from my favorite things. That one looks, I don't know if I would do that one. I might put that one like there. I might put it there. I might pop it up. I don't know. This is about how you would use the things. You need to think about the paper as the same way as you would think about a stencil, the same way you would think about any other kind of a background. That's the way that I like to think about it, is how can I use this? How can I make it different? Here's the hexagon. This is the stitched hexagon set from Cat Scrappiness. Again, this one's not a finished card yet. This is interesting because instead of, laying this one all flat like I did on this one, what I did is these are all popped up at different levels. So if you wanted to, you could, sneak a little flower in there if you wanted to. You could put a banner across it, or you could just, you can do whatever you want in the frames. You could put white paper in the frames and then put something else on the inside. It's a little too small for that, but if you left the smaller frames off, you could put the birds in there. So you can do all kinds of things with these. So now it's the same idea. It also depends. How do you want this to look? Do you want to put it on this kind of a background? I also got the these dudes, the my nomies, hanging with my nomies. There you go, from My Favorite Things, and they are just, oh my God, they are so adorable. They are just adorable. So the other interesting thing that you can do with these is that you can do it for partial things. You can take these strips and do it down part of there, and do this. That would be such a cute wedding card. That would be such a cute engagement card. That'd be a really cool Valentine's Day card. That's just a little bit, and you've used up another one of your stamps, another one of your strips of paper. Another thing that I like to do, because I decorate the insides of my cards very often, instead of just taking your card, Simon Fogg, or in this case, Staples Gray. It's exactly the same color, folks. Exactly the same color. One of the things that you can do is take a little extra piece of paper, and if you ram your paper right up against the fold, and you take a strip of paper and you put it in here, that decorates your card. Okay? And now if you have front, they don't see it until you open it, obviously. But if you do this, then it coordinates with your stamp. See? Very nice, very nice, very nice. The other thing that you can do, you can do it with you can also do it, you could put it in here like this. You can put it on top. And honestly, because this is the inside of the card, it doesn't, people don't notice that it's like a little off wonk because it's such a small piece of paper. And by the way, this way you only have to get the top and bottom even, you don't have to get the side even. Ha 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 ha! Isn't that great? I love that idea. I do. So that works. That's one of the ways that I use up, you know, all of these strips. And oftentimes, you know, that's a fun card for a kid, for a little girl, for a princess card, or, you know,
Okay.
if, or a guy. That one's pink, but that's okay. So if you've got, you know, let me see what I've got here. Those are dots, but, you know, if you've got the Nomies coming home on the front, like this, on the inside, one of the things that you can do is that you can then put a little flower on your strip in there, and that's a really cute little decoration. You know, that works really well. So you can do the same thing. I mean, this is the way that I use up all the things that I do. This stamp set, this stamp set came with mushrooms, so you can do the same thing. Another way to decorate the inside of your envelope is to put, these were mushrooms I had colored and then ended up not using. You can put the mushrooms. Look, aren't those adorable? Yeah, or if you wanted to, you can put the strip of paper across the bottom. You know, it's ground, people. It's ground. Put the strip of paper across the bottom. You know, if it's a thank you card or whatever, there you go, right across the bottom. I think it's really important to think of this paper the same way as you think of a stencil. Don't think of it as, oh, it's pattern paper. Think of it as a structural piece. If you're creating a background, you know, I can whip out my background stamp that's got itty bitty dots on it from MFT and stamp it in colors. I can whip out my stencil. I think it's from Hero Arts, it's small dots. Or I can use this piece of pattern paper. You know, if I'm in a hurry, I'm slapping on the pattern paper. You know, so it's all in what you want to do. Someone asked me last night, do I make cards specifically for specific people, or do I make cards and then have them in a stash? You know, frankly, it depends. If I get, you know, when I get one of my kits, I make cards because I enjoy the process. So always also just remember to enjoy the process. It's paper. You know, I like to see how much of it I can use. But if you're going to throw it out, throw it out. It's paper. It's not gold. It's not gold. It's not silver. Throw it out. You know, as Kathy Racusin says, consider the trash factor. Consider the trash factor. I always remember that people are going to look at my card and go, oh my God, that's adorable. And 3 months from now, they're going to go, oh yeah. And throw it away. So that's all for now. Remember to hit that subscribe button. When I reach 150, I'm giving stuff away.